Now, as a quick preface to this, I'm really gonna open up to you guys in a lot of things when it comes to personal finances and just our journey to getting to this point that we are. And it's not in a way to boast or anything like that, but more so hoping to help you guys out. I wish that when I started, I had somebody that could have guided me and kind of warned me of certain pitfalls that would have set me back and taken me longer. Today, I'm gonna be talking exactly about what you should be doing, or at least 5 things that I think you should be considering that hopefully will help you become a millionaire in your teens. So personally, I made my first million when I was around 21, 22, and ever since then, I have been blessed enough to have exponential growth year after year. But it wasn't always like that. I was born in a low-class household where my parents busted their behinds to work day in and day out to make sure that we had everything that we needed every single day. But I would still remember days where our light was cut off or our water was cut off. I mean, dude, I still remember a day where I think I was in middle school where our water bill had been cut, so I had to shower with those gallon jugs that you buy for like $1.20 at Publix. My mom went and bought like 8 of them, and I had to shower in the morning before going to school with those. But I loved every second of how I grew up, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because it showed me how the dirt tastes like and what it was like to struggle, and overall, hard work, what it's like to work from the ground up. Now, I'm a Christian man and I believe in God, so I do think that God helped me along the way everywhere, but overall, nothing was given to me and there was a lot of failures along the way, like our failed Estaniga company, which was a suit company that was a complete flop. So I can sit here all over again and explain all the downfalls and failures that I had in my early stages of life, but instead, I would like to show you the 5 things that I did that I feel helped me get to my original goal of making my first million, hoping that you can get to that goal even younger than I did. So if that sounds interesting, let's hop into it. Number 1, you want to humble yourself. Before this and before owning my own companies, I did everything from landscaping work to maintenance to cleaning up lawns to I did handyman work, I was a copy boy, I also did some painting, I did car washing. Really, there was nothing I wouldn't do to make an extra buck as long as it was honest work, I would do it. But what I noticed is that this laborious type of work would really just end up humbling you to make you realize that you really aren't better than anybody else. The problem comes when you don't know this and you start making any sort of income or success, you start buying a bunch of flashy things that you probably cannot afford to try to impress people outside your circle so they think that you're more successful than you really are. That's a waste of money and leads to so many downfalls. So the first thing you need to do is to learn how to humble yourself even if you start experiencing some sort of success. Which rolls us on to number 2, do not incur a bunch of debt. If you don't know how to handle it or how to use it, debt can be debilitating. You're gonna always feel like you're drowning, which is not gonna allow you to see it clearly and invent or come up with new ways to make new streams of revenue. Instead, you're gonna be solely focused on the debt and how the hell to get out of it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't buy anything or you can't buy things you want. You just have to be smart about it. For example, you want maybe some new AirPods, or maybe you need a new TV for your room, or maybe you want a nice watch. Don't be dumb and put it on some credit card that's gonna charge you a ridiculous 23% interest rate on it. Instead, you should try our sponsor Zebit, where they charge 0 interest, no late fees, and there is no cost to join. Those are the type of smart moves you wanna make to save money along the way, and don't do what others are doing of just maxing out credit cards and drowning in interest rates. I did that in my early stages, and at a certain point when I was 18, I was about $14,000 in debt as a 17, 18-year-old. And I didn't ask my parents for help. Like I said, they had nowhere to get that type of money. I had to pay that on my own and figure it out. So in efforts that you don't end up like that, this sponsor is perfect for you. And right now, since Zebit knows you may want nice things, they're gonna really hook you up. If you go to zebit.com/TMF, you can apply for up to $2,500 of interest-free credit. That is freaking amazing. So if you go to zebit.com/TMF and go ahead and apply, like I said, it's completely free to apply. And the best part is that they don't check your credit score and they don't do a hard pull. So it's not gonna affect or negatively affect your credit score. As soon as you apply, you can get approved upwards to $2,500 of spending capital. You guys need to try out Zebit. And the best part is that Zebit has millions of products on their store. And you can go right now, click the link below, and you can check out the products for free without even signing up and see what they have to offer. So if you guys wanna check out Zebit and check out that amazing credit line and resource, click the link down below. The third thing you're gonna wanna do is to have a vision. One thing that I always did right ever since the beginning, and I didn't realize until now, is that I always had a vision. I always knew what I wanted. I wanted to have my own clothing company. I wanted it to be successful. When I started YouTube, I wanted to be the best. I always had that clear goal in my head. I just didn't know how to get to there. Now that I've gone through it, I think a more efficient way to do it is that once you have a clear vision, you want to set up micro goals along the way so you don't get discouraged along the way and make it more achievable. But guys, when you have a vision, you're creating your own path. Even if it may seem impossible, you still have a map that you can now follow and kind of guide yourself towards. Don't be most guys. Sit down and think about what it is that you really want out of life. What makes you happy? Number 4, this is important. You want to be relentless. Forget about what everybody says. I hear the hate on me all the time. It doesn't stop me. Oh, Jose's a sellout. Oh, Jose this. Oh, Jose that. I don't really care. Your effort should be to be relentless. And when there wasn't hate, I had other obstacles. When I was really small and nobody even knew who I was, I had the obstacles that I was broke. Like I said, I didn't have the resources to have a studio or to have a camera gear. I used to record my stuff with a regular blanket and the first gen iPad. I would then have my sister hold it as steady as possible as I recorded a 8-10 minute video. No matter what resources you have, don't make excuses and just be relentless. Keep going and grind on it day after day. There's gonna be days you're gonna wanna quit. I'm telling you this because I felt them multiple times. But because of my faith and my drive to be relentless, I didn't stop, and it's one of the most important attributes to your success. Because if you ever stop, you're never gonna get to that goal. And finally, number 5, do not be a perfectionist. This one, luckily, I never suffered with. But nowadays that I get so many emails, and I even have kids coming up to me and asking me how I did it and them pitching me their ideas and if they can do it. One thing that I always notice is that you got a lot of guys out here trying to be perfect. Oh, I don't do this until I have this or until I get it down packed. The reality is that you have analysis paralysis. In other words, you're overanalyzing things to the point that you're paralyzed. You're not moving forward, and all that talk about being perfect is leaving you in the same spot while somebody else is making micro steps to their goal. Even if they're not the prettiest steps or the most perfect steps, he's moving forward, and you're here thinking, oh, once I got it perfect, I'll shoot over there. You won't, buddy. So don't try to make it perfect. Your goal, start moving forward. And that's basically it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Those are 5 things that you can start doing to become a millionaire in your teens. Now, this obviously isn't guaranteed and results vary, but these are the 5 things that I personally did that I feel led to my personal success. So hopefully these helped you out. If they did, don't forget to drop us a like down below. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsor, Zebit. If you guys want to check out interest-free credit, it's going to be linked down below as well. That's it for me today. See you next time.